Hi everyone, my name is Brittany and I'm going to talk about my service learning site. So the service learning site that I was doing my service at was Los Cayos Elementary School. It's located in La Palma, in California. It's a public school. It's well known for their academics and they were just rewarded as the National Blue Ribbon School. So for that, they're like known for their high test scores and their high academics. And some of the staff and students that are at this school are from grades from preschool to sixth grade. The teachers and staff are very unique with the way they interact with their children, and the staff seems to be really close with each other. Some of the roles that I did at this site is that I mainly worked with the kindergartners. I assisted in the class activities, I prepared the materials, and I supervised during recess. So here's some pictures of the staff and how the school looks. And here are some connections to the course. So resilience. First and foremost, resilience is the ability to adapt and productively respond to challenge and hardships. So some ways we would build resilience in the classroom is we would do that they would change the tables and have the children interact with their new like classmates, and they would also have them read to each other when it was reading time. And some of the observations I saw as we did these big changes for the children is that they didn't want to do it, or they wouldn't want to interact with the new table group. They were shy when it came to reading the book to the new students. And some of the ways we'd help with this was we would always do reassurance. We would have the children talk about their feelings and letting them know that they can do it. We would change their negative response to a positive response. So if we ever heard the children say, I can't do it or I don't want to do it, we would find a way for them to say, I can do it, I want to do this. And then we would have the children compliment each other after they read to them or when they're going to be reading to them. So just complimenting them like, "Oh, you can do it," and all that. And some ways we would help before we had them read is we would create games with them, like an icebreaker, by like having them tell them their favorite color or what they enjoyed to read. And sometimes we would allow the children to choose the games they wanted to do just so they can have like a small interaction and see like some of the same interests as they have. And after we would be done with the readings, we would give the children time to talk to each other. We'd let them have that little interaction that little interaction they can have together. And we would usually do this type of interaction before recess. That way, when they're outside playing, it gives them a little stress relief. And so forth, memory, thinking, and information. The two things that we worked on in our site was working memory, which was creating a routine for the children. So we'd have them find a routine like when it comes to cleaning up before they would leave and make sure they had all their stuff in their assigned cubbies and putting things in the right spot and creating hand gestures or songs for them to retain information better, thus creating them to have a better long-term memory. So they would do these tasks without us having to tell them. And whenever we'd put a certain song on, they would know instantly like, oh, this is for to do a cleanup, or if we did a hand gesture, it would be okay, it's time for quiet time. So it would help them like create that routine and memory for them. Critical thinking and problem solving. So we would take a moment to form a hypothesis during playing time and create thinking exercise to help develop skills. So some of the things we would ask the children is if we do this, what do you think will happen? Or let's predict what we think will happen next. So some of the encouraging ways we would develop this was triggering their curiosity. So we would show them an object and we would have them figure out what it is. Or if they said a certain object looked like another object, we would ask them why. Kind of just make them have a broader spectrum, make them have a broader like thinking. And we'd encourage this with activity boxes and like coordination games. So the number one thing that they enjoyed doing was the balloon volleyball. And then some critical thinking exercise we would do, we'd have them ask questions. We would encourage them to make decision making, work in groups, incorporate different points of view, inspire creativity, and brainstorm. And some of the problem solvings, we'd have them identify the problem, think about the solution, think about how the solution will affect another child, and try to figure out some solutions to help them. And motivation. So for motivation, we would have the kids set a goal. So in the beginning of the week, we'd have the kids set a goal, whether it's big or small. It can be remembering to put their jackets on the hangers, or remembering which cubby they were putting their things away in, or whether it was reading a book they were struggling to read that week. And it'll just create self-determination. So by the end of the week, we would reward the kids that accomplished their goals. And for the ones that didn't, we would encourage them or find ways to help them. Kind of like the flow theory. It's just turning everything negative, or showing that there's no negative, there's no bad things when it comes to not achieving your goals. And we would also reward them when they would participate, because we want the other students to participate as well, which will encourage them and help them in the long run to always ask questions, to not be afraid to ask questions. And we'd always encourage positive reinforcement. And a takeaway I got from this course was that I learned to be more patient with children. I have a better understanding the way children's minds are, the emotions and their development, just so the way they react to certain things, how to create a healthier environment for children that struggle with any situation they have outside of school, and learning ways to better a student, because not all children are the same. So it's showing that everyone is different, everyone learns different, and we just all have to be patient. And that is it.